Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering July 11th through the 17th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning whenever this reading shows up for you and pops up in your feed, or whenever you fall upon it, that is the time that the messages are meant for you. So thank you so much for being here week after week. It brings me great joy to do these readings. I love how they unfold. I love the magic that these readings are sprinkled with, and it really is a treasure. So I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you showing up and interacting and enjoying and resonating with the messages. So thank you. I just put out my new moon in Cancer pick a pile reading. I will link that at the end of this video and also in the notes below this video so that you can go right to it if you wish, if you're guided to. And new moon in Cancer is all about nurturing and family and food and partnership and relationships. Moon energy is connected to the mother. It's connected to the moon, which is also emotional energy. So without getting too much into the description of the new moon in Cancer, because I did explain it in my video, I do want to share that this week with the new moon in Cancer energy, new moon is a time for us to send out our wishes, to get into that feeling body of more of this in my life or something even better. And with the planets Pluto and Mars and Venus, especially Mars and Venus doing their dance, we got energies in Leo. What's happening is the EarthAngel Collective seems to be in a place of reflection, like reviewing relationship dynamics, friendships, partnerships, and really kind of choosing. This energy is really working with the 2020 energy of awarenesses, the aha moments that we've experienced in 2020. And there's a lot of Earth Angels that are now like readjusting as you awaken, kind of coming out of, I feel like I see like the mole energy, right? Mole is kind of underground, and mole is very connected to Mother Earth. And I feel like that as we start to kind of come out of this womb space we've been in, or this cave we've been in, or this shelter or quarantine, whatever you want to call it, the world looks different. And, for some, it will be like going back to same old status quo, the way things were before, everything shut down. And there are many of you, especially the Earth Angels, who will be looking at things differently. You've evolved, you've grown, you've shifted. You're not the person that you were a year ago, a year and a half ago. And so this is a really great time for you to really connect with that relationship with yourself, your relationship with the divine, and allow the co-creating of your life with you and the divine and God, Source, Creator, and the Divine Mother and Divine Father, using that energy for you to forge forward, right? So intuitively being guided, inspired action moving forward. Who is nourishing your soul? Like what energies around you feel like mana, right? Food. You could also be working with different energies, right? So I work with many different energies. I work with the Native American energy, the goddess energies, the angelic energies, the ascended masters energies, the mother, the father, love energies, which is the supreme, right? It's all one. It's all part of that oneness. But you could also be resonating with different dynamics. Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism. There's so much wealth of information on this planet. So maybe you're, how do I say it? Moving in uncharted territories. Maybe, I think that's how you say it, uncharted territories. And it might feel different. So you're being asked to really check in with yourself, and you know who you are now, and you know what resonates with you, and you know the energies that light you up in your feeling body. And so this could be a really great time for you to kind of mold and shape, or, if you're an artist, being able to paint your life, right, in the way that matches your heart's desires. So it's beautiful, beautiful energy that we're in. It's a really great time to get back to something, right? If you've kind of gotten away from, let's say, sometimes gratitude. The best thing about gratitude is that when you stop doing it for a while, that is when you realize how much it works and how much of a blessing it is. So maybe it's time to get back to something. Maybe it's time to, go out and plan a dinner, or revisit family that you haven't seen in a while. This is all good energy for that. The cards that I will be using this week to support you is, I'll be starting with pulling a message from the Keepers of the Light, and then a message of healing from the Soul's Journey lesson cards, and then what action steps you can take this week to support your healing and your spiritual growth. I will be pulling from the Magical Unicorns Oracle cards. And then what you're being gifted with this week with the numerology cards. And then your overall prayer, overall message will be from Divine Abundance. I also have fresh flowers on the table. These are the remnants of my birthday flowers from a few weeks ago, and so they're just so beautiful, and I've loved them so much, and I've very much enjoyed them, so I wanted to share them with you, before they run its course. So I'm feeling a lot of love energy, a lot of softness, a lot of friendship, laughter, play for you this week. Let's see. I feel that, but let's see what the cards have to say. They could have a different perspective on the energies. All right, so let me open up space. Let me invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the Divine Mother and Father, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you this week. I'm also going to connect my heart to the heart of the Keepers of the Light that are included in this oracle deck. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, friends, here we go. So what messenger wants to speak this week? What messenger wants to speak this week? Keepers of the Light. Okay. Well, there's your exclamation point. So, let's begin. Ooh, Sanat Kumara, light activation. Yes, please. Oh, I feel so much love emanating. It says, shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Absolutely. This is exactly what I was talking about in my introduction, right? Your light has been activated in a sense where many earth angels the last year and a half really dug deep. And what triggered that is that thing that you desired. Maybe it was a purposeful life. Maybe it was a romantic partnership. Maybe it was a different home. Maybe it was a career where you were thriving. Maybe it was financial security. Where were you squeezed this last year? Where was the fear? Where were you digging in? Where were you learning about? Could be your spiritual journey as well. And as you started that step-by-step process, right, to understand understand the shadow, to understand your inner child, to understand your innocence, to understand all those parts of you, right? The adolescent, the young adult. As you kind of got into the spiritual psychology of the workings, right, of the human psychology, that's a thing that earth angels love to do. We love to kind of dig in. Well, let me rephrase that. We don't love it. We can't not do it, but the benefits and the rewards we get after we move through a difficult experience or a challenging situation, there's so much liberation, and that's what I'm feeling. The word is liberation, and now you have the capacity to receive more light, more information, deeper wisdom, right? So the word wisdom, it's like evolutionary. It is really impossible to know it all. Although there's many people out there who believe they know it all, and that's okay. That's a stage they're in, right? It is really impossible because the depth of growth, and we haven't even scratched the surface in the eons that we've been on this planet. And so many of us are moving through uncharted territories. And so Sanat Kumar, I feel like he's coming in to remind you. It's kind of like the light in the darkness, right? I'm seeing this yin-yang energy, the balance of the masculine, feminine energies, the dualities, and how we can work with these energies. And so the more light you take in, the more of the shadow stuff and any limitations, old beliefs, old ways of doing things need to come up and out. So it's kind of this dance. So we're not out of the woods yet, right? If I'm going to quote Taylor Swift, we're not out of the woods, but now you have really beautiful skills and skills in coping and self-soothing and fierce self-love, right? Which is always an evolutionary process. And so he's reminding you to shine your light. You are ready. You have all the information you need. You have all the education you need to be a beacon of light on this planet. And it really requires you to do nothing but be yourself, right? Laugh and play and sing and dance. It's funny, people say to me, that, Gladys, you're special, and, we love you. And so I recently started asking, like, why? What is it about me? Like, what am I doing? And they're like, it's just you, right? And so it hit me one day that, I showed up at an event and I hadn't been out for a while, and I could feel joy emanating from me from the inside out. I could feel my smile radiating because I was very present in my body and activated in the light. And as much as people told me why they enjoyed my presence, why they appreciated the wisdom I shared and the way I approached it, right? It was still troubling to me because I didn't completely understand it because I didn't understand myself, right? So people were seeing something in me that I wasn't seeing in myself because of my own baggage, because of my own insecurities, because of my own darkness. And so maybe this story resonates with you, right? Maybe you're like, I don't know why they feel that way. And so when you're in that space, it's really hard to receive. It's hard to receive love. It's hard to receive like rewards or gifts, because this feeling of I should block this because of they're gonna want something, or the rug's gonna be pulled out from me, or they're lying to me, right? And so we're learning to get into this receptor mode in a genuine, loving way. And so, when I went to this event, I could feel the joy and the laughter emanating. I almost felt like the laughing Buddha, and it was so beautiful. And I got it in that moment. It's like their energy was like like playing with my energy, which lit me up, which really is absolute joy. And from that, I gift that energy. It was like I receive their joy of seeing me, let's say, and then it activates my wanting to give that abundance of laughter and joy and innocence and playfulness that's within me, right? So I am such a, joyful, I love to play. I love to bounce around. Somebody described me once as perky. I still don't know if that was a backhanded compliment. But anyway, it was like I wasn't seeing it in myself. And so I feel like many of you are getting the awarenesses, especially the divine feminine energies. We need to receive first before we give. Divine masculine energies, they give first and then they receive, right? So the divine feminines, which is predominantly this channel, you're now learning how to receive. And when you receive, when you're open and receptive from that unconditional love place, that heart base, why? Because you know yourself, you know what your boundaries are, you have self-respect, you're gonna ask for what you need, you're gonna say yes to the things you want to say yes to, you're gonna say no to the things you want to say no to, right? That makes you a brighter light. But also understand there is a low vibrating energy on the planet that doesn't want that light to shine. So it feels like a constant tug of war. And this is why, I believe so many earth angels had this 1.5 years off to really regain strength, to take a time out, to really dig in and get to know yourself on deeper levels. And so now I feel like you're going to be called out. Here we're in the summer in the northern hemisphere and we're going out and things are opening up and people are gathering. And, it's really this humbleness of an appreciation for being able to gather and to feel alive with community, which is so special. So your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So listen to that, right? Inspired action. So what message of healing does he have for you? And this is your soul growth. What message of healing does he have for you about your soul growth this week? Let's do these two. Change. Whoop, whoop. It says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So, this is coming out, right? Evolving. I've seen the butterfly analogy where, when the butterfly has formed and it's still in the chrysalis, and the fight and the challenge that it has to break through the chrysalis, that is what makes its wings stronger, right? So if somebody innocently came along and saw that the poor butterfly was struggling and cut open the chrysalis, its wings wouldn't be strong enough for it to survive. So we have to understand that the struggle is part of what is going to make you stronger for the next level or the next stage that you're moving to in your life. And I feel like many of you have gone through that struggle and you've kind of busted through that chrysalis, and now you've got these wings, right? And now you're embracing change. Remember, this is a 5 universal year for numerology. 5 is all about massive transformation and change. It's like who I am now is not who I was last year. You're different, right? And so now you're going out into the world and you're making connections and you're having experiences as this different being, and it's going to feel weird. You're not going to know until you know, and then when you know, you do better, right? So have patience with yourself and honor the space that you're in and being able to express, I need more space, or yes to this invitation or no to that invitation, because you're going through change. You're navigating energies that you haven't experienced before, or maybe they feel familiar, but you want to break that reaction, right? You want to act instead of react. So, I feel like earth angels are more conscious. They're taking cautious action, not out of fear, but out of calculation, right? It's kind of like, I'm seeing this game, Battleship. I think that's the game. I never played it. My grandfather had the game though, and I remember I don't know, I think my brother or my cousins played it. Battleship, and I think it was strategic. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like we're going through this change, and we really have to see how the world is adjusting around us and then make our move, right? You're responsible for your half in any relationship and the way you operate in this world, right? You're responsible for your own happiness. You're responsible for your own pleasure and joy. And then when you activate that within you, you naturally align. Law of attraction, the universe gifts you with more of that, right? So it requires presence and self-love and self-respect and honor and reverence and cherishing. And this is why I almost always have fresh flowers available. Sometimes they're gifted to me, and sometimes I get them for myself. It's nourishing for me. It's connecting with nature and beauty, which is the essence of who I am, right? So, I do these things to remind me of the gift that I am to humanity and you as well. Even when you show up to, nourish your soul with these types of readings, it lights you up. So know that you're going through a change. And it requires movement. It requires inspired action going forward. This goes back to my New Year's message about influence over inspired action, right? So asking yourself, is this under influence because I feel like I should, or is this like I'm going to do this regardless of what anybody thinks? Usually that's the way to go. So the second message, gratitude, of course. I was just talking about this, right? I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So, the light is reminding you that, the dark is in the yin yang. The dark is connected to pain, right? And it's through the pain. If you can think about pain like the caterpillar, right? I mean the butterfly and the chrysalis. The challenge is to bust out of the chrysalis, and the more it fights, the more the blood pumps to its wings, and the wings get stronger. So if you can remove that label of this is good, this is bad, this is a good experience, bad experience, right, wrong, positive or negative. If you can remove that and look at it from like an observation, I want to say the word objection, like be like objective, and look at it from observation and it kind of remove judgment and the criticism that anything should be any other way than it is. Then you find deeper gratitudes and you see the golden nuggets in the experiences that you're having. And a lot of times when we're in it, it's really hard to see it. This is why support is so important. This is why manifesting support and community and family, however that word resonates with you, friendships, partnerships, soul partnerships, right? These words, it's a really good time for you to harness that energy and call that in this new mood. How are you being fed? How are you being nourished? Gratitude is definitely one of those things that will feed you, right? And that's that's where my quote comes from. More of this or something even better. It's my way to say gratitude. When I lay my head on my pillow at night, I review my day, and I just kind of pull out those golden nuggets, those interactions, those aha moments, and I'm like, thank you for that. Thank you for my awareness. Thank you for the gift of the wisdom that I see things in the way that I see them. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share and contribute and be of service to the world. Thank you for the gift of love that flows through me. And understand, friends, my life is definitely not unicorns and rainbows. I have had my fair share of experiences. I've really had, growing up, I didn't really have a lot of mentors, which was fine. It was just my journey. There's no judgment on it. But I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. I had to learn a lot of things through experience, as opposed to some people are gifted with teachers and mentors that will guide them and support them. I was on my own, but that was independent me, right? Came out of the womb independent, friends, right? I was going to do it my way. And until I started working with my ego that was sabotaging and making things difficult, I've experienced a lot of pain. So, I understand that duality, and I understand the treasure that comes from it. And, I've been some really, really dark places. And, that's really my journey back to Jesus and back to God. I believe that God's God sent his Archangel Michael to me to lead me back to the light. And, I had to kind of look at things in different ways. And that's what gives me the compassion and the honor and the gift of love to be able to support people where they're at, even when they're prickly, even when they're challenged, even when they're emotional, because I get it, right? And this is the Earth Angels. You've come to this planet to love people where they're at, but you have to also understand that, people are going through a change and you've got to give them space. We can't cut that chrysalis open and, before they're ready, before they're grown. So in the interim, as the world is waking up and learning and evolving, you can really do your work with just kind of reviewing your change and, really harnessing that energy of gratitude this week. All right, so what action steps can you take to support your healing? What action steps can you take to support your healing this week? Unicorns. All right, so I'm going to go with, there's 2 here. Let's see, let's move these over. I might need more space. All right, so we have, there's 3 here. Hello, bonus. Water. Yes, drink more water. Eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables, right? This is part of new moon in Cancer with nourishing your body, right? Drink lots of water, hydrate, especially the weather is warmer here in the Northern Hemisphere. Even, if you're watching and you're in the Southern Hemisphere, drinking your water. Sometimes when it's really cold out, we forget that we need to drink. So this is really powerful here. Fresh water. Maybe you can add some strawberries in it, or some blueberries, or some kiwi, or something to sweeten it up, right? Adding fruits in your water. So here is your, public service announcement. Drink your water. They say drinking half your body weight in ounces. It's what's going to really hydrate you. I had a physical therapist tell me once that if you're drinking water and it's going through you fast, it means you're dehydrated. And so a lot of times, it's kind of counterintuitive. People don't want to drink because they don't want to have to keep going to the bathroom, but that's when you need it the most. So when you can start drinking your water, it's kind of like a wet sponge, right? Water will just kind of slip off of it. So know that your cells need more water. Even getting in water, I've been guided to do magnesium flakes. I have these magnesium flakes, like a foot bath. I put a little lavender in it. My body's needed the magnesium, but it's also needed the water. So, getting out, maybe you've got a pool, or maybe you can get to the ocean for some cleansing. Water can also be included in that. So what else can you do to support your healing this week? Action. It's okay to be different. Acknowledge that you march to the beat of your own drum. It's okay to acknowledge that you are an independent, strong, powerful Earth Angel on this planet. It says you don't need to be like everyone else. You're perfect just as you are, right? You are a beacon of light on this planet. You embody the energy of unconditional love, right? And so can't speak enough to how important it is to practice receiving from the divine, receiving messages and guidance intuitively. You're going to be moving forward and needing to check in with how your body is feeling. This is why we've done so much of this work the last year. So it's okay to be different. Yes, it's so interesting. The Earth Angel's journey, I know with myself included, it's like so often I want to be quote unquote a normal, let's say, doing normal things. And then, when I get into those experiences, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm in sensory overload. I don't like this. So it's kind of a tug of war. It's like kind of being under the radar and not being seen. And then there's this other part of you that says, be seen, shine your light. So it can be an internal tug of war. So as you're going out into the world, I know I've heard that some people are experiencing anxiety and panic attacks, and really learning how to navigate in the world again, and also feeling protected and safe. So really having patience with yourself, knowing that you're different, and love is always there. Love is abundant, and nobody can steal your energy or take your energy. It's the fear that people can, that will do that to yourself. So when you can, before you go out, fill yourself up to overflowing, really connect with your intuition, that you'll be navigated in all the right spots, all the spots and the spaces and the places that will be of higher light to you. You'll meet some really great people, and you'll start smiling and laughing with people again. It's interesting how people come back around when our energy and our vibe shifts. And finally, what action can you take is very soon. Interesting. It says what you're asking for will happen soon in a happy way. So I almost feel like this is like no action at all. So if you need to do anything, drink your water. Really being okay with being different and independent and operating in this world in a different way. You're more conscious, you're more in tune, you're more connected, right? And that's not better or worse than anybody else. We're all in different stages, but that makes you a little more sensitive, and sensitivity is a superpower, my friends. So know that, there's really not much more that you have to do to reach your goals or get that thing you've been working towards. It's coming to you. So being in a space of gratitude, knowing that change is happening, acknowledging your light, feeling it from the inside out, keeping yourself hydrated, your authentic self, right? Getting to know yourself. That's when we start aligning, right? We start receiving change from the universe, as opposed to you feeling like you've got to go out and make it happen and do it, and no, it's not going to get done if I don't do it myself. That's really strong masculine energy that, if you're feminine dominant, can be a real challenge, and that can't possibly sustain that energy, right? This is why a lot of times you see people on these emotional roller coasters, because they're hunting and they're pursuing and they're chasing and they're trying to make something happen. And I'm here to remind you that God's got it all set up, right? The divine has the pieces. All you have to do is follow the golden nuggets, right? And, be present within yourself, and it does require patience. It does require time and pause and stillness, right? So, know that, you might still be in that space. So that which you're seeking is coming very soon. I love that. All right, so what are you being gifted with this week? What are you being gifted with this week? What are you being gifted with this week? There we go. All right. Oh, follow your dreams. I love this. Number 85. So what does that add up to? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. Ooh. So 4 is about getting back to work, right? So it's funny, I just said, not to hunt. But when the golden nuggets show up, when you receive the guidance for inspired action, then move forward, right? It's kind of dancing. It's like following the lead of the universe, right? So this is coming. So follow your dreams. Understand that, with this Pluto energy, and we've got, Mars and Venus doing its thing. When you're faced with your dreams and like, oh gosh, this could really happen, this could be what I've been waiting for, there is a tendency to want to self-sabotage unconsciously and run away from it and get scared. And so, I feel like this card is reminding you to stand in the fear, facing change, right? Facing, as you're following your dreams and the golden nuggets are showing up, life can start moving a lot faster, and that can invoke fear. And fear is a wonderful navigator. Fear, when you know how to work with it, is really powerful because it gives you an indicator to pause and saying, okay, let's make sure all parts of me are on the same page. If not, that stronger part that wants to run away will run away, and it will self-sabotage, and unknowingly. So I feel like, so I feel like with this 85 equaling 4, so those of you, 8 plus 5 equals 13, and then 1 plus 3 is 4. That's how I came up with that. With that, it's reminding you that you're on your way to your dreams, right? That's what you're being gifted with this week. Maybe golden nuggets. One thing leads to another, right? So if you see the number 85 this week, I'd love it. If you see 85s this week, I'd love for you to share that in the comments. Come back and share how the 85 has shown up for you. It's a reminder that you're on your way. You're following your dreams. And, the universe, always gives us a heads up. So they might be saying, hey, this could be a little scary, or this could be a little intense, and this is where you move through fear, and this is where you activate your courage, right? You cannot experience courage without moving through fear, right? What's the definition? That courage is being afraid or being in the fear and moving forward anyway, right? This is where you become innately stronger. It's like your spine and your root chakra get really strong and solid. So you're on your way, my friends. Follow the golden nuggets. Love it. Okay, so final message here. What is your overall prayer? What is the overall prayer for you this week? Overall prayer for you this week. Whoa. All right. Well, that is like an exclamation point. Trust. I love it. This card was on the bottom of the deck when I pulled the cards out, and I smiled at it because I thought of the butterfly, and I was wondering like if I would talk about it, and here it is, right? So trust. That all this stuff is happening in divine order. So the prayer is, allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. So going to the divine and saying, I deeply desire the depth of love in my life. I deeply desire a purposeful life. I deeply desire financial security and stability because it offers me freedom, right? I deeply desire nurturing, nourishing, empowering, spiritual, faith-filled relationships in my life, right? And a lot of times if you're coming to that space with fear, like I feel alone, I feel isolated, I feel like this is never going to happen. This is saying go to the divine with that fear, go to the divine with those insecurities and those worries. It's very, very humbling when you can share and saying, I know I need to do this, but I am as scared as heck, right? And being able to open yourself up to support, to receive the love of the divine. So I feel like this is so beautiful how this is ending. I am seeing this. It's like I was talking about the chrysalis, of course, we see the orange here, like the monarch butterfly, which is so interesting because I actually saw a monarch the other day, and it was the first butterfly I've seen like that in a really long time, and I was just very proud of myself. I was proud of how much I've grown and how much I've learned, and who I am and who I've become. As I just celebrated a birthday, and I'm a year older, and it just gives me a time to reflect upon all that I've been through and all that I've overcome and who I am to this day, right? And so if you can give yourself that space and understand that you've gone through a metamorphosis, you've gone through a change, you've gone through the pain and the challenge, and you've busted out of the chrysalis, right? And so have others, right? It's no coincidence that there's a few of them here, right? And so you're going to start aligning with your community of people, and I just feel like this is God's hands above it all, right? Now that you're learning how to spread your wings and navigate and to fly in this world with the light that you possess, understand that you're always, always, always in God's hands. Gosh, that's so beautiful. I love it. All right. On that note, I am going to close space, thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. I want to thank Sanat Kumara and the Keepers of the Light that supported us this week in their messages. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. And so it is. And those are your messages. Something, that I've shared in other videos that, this is the end of the video. And if you want to take a screenshot of this spread so that you can remember and check in throughout the week, I really believe in support. I really believe in out of sight, out of mind. And so, having the reminder, being able to go back in and check in with where you're at is super helpful and can be really powerful. I am still available if I can support you. I am starting to go through my wait list. I'm starting to open up days in my office, and I will still be working online as well. So this week I will be plotting out my schedule and how to navigate being in two places, and which is wonderful. So if I can support you in any way, if you could use some divine guidance or some messages about your life purpose or some guidance connecting with loved ones that have passed, that if that is a block in your life, I'd be happy to support you. Of course, you can come through my channel and check out previous readings to support you. I know that is crucial in your evolutionary growth on this planet. So I love you, friends. If you haven't heard it anytime recent, I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.